Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Kevin McCall, Civil Rights Leader, founder of the Crisis Action Center. We're joined by Civil Rights Attorney SANFORD RUBENSTEIN, who represents the family of Brother Pierre, the mother, the brother, the family friends, and the cousin is here today simply to talk about a young man who should still be here today. A young man who has issues just like all of us do. Some of us deal with our issues privately, while others deal with theirs publicly. This young man should have been here today of dealing with anguish, dealing with society and issues that happens on a day-to-day basis. Just because a young man has issues does not mean that it should be his death sentence. He had an episode. The episode that he had should not result into his final episode of life. The NYPD should be trained to deal with individuals that have mental health issues. We fought here in New York City for the city council to have medical professionals to respond to calls when someone is having a mental episode. We're calling for the release of the body cam footage so this family can be able to see what transpired. We don't trust the police department. The police department says it's a suicide. We don't know. We don't know all the facts. We don't know. We wasn't there. The police wasn't there. So we want to be able to see the video. The video. That's what this family want to see so they can see what transpired on that day, on that street in Brooklyn. Mayor-elect Eric Adams has been calling for individuals within his cabinet, starting with the first female police commissioner, to have emotional intelligence, and his administration to have emotional intelligence. Well, he needs to make sure that his police department have emotional intelligence of dealing with the mentally ill and dealing with those who have mental episodes on the streets of New York City. Because right now they are emotionally unintelligent. They don't know how to be able to deal with the public and deal with those who have hardship and deal with those who have issues. We're dealing with COVID and we're dealing with the holidays. It's a lot on us. And they need to be able to have a heart when someone is having an episode. You will now hear from the attorney who's representing the family, Attorney SANFORD RUBENSTEIN.
NYPD, don't kill the mentally ill, is a rallying cry New Yorkers have been making for quite some time. In fact, this is the fifth family I now represent who've had a loved one killed, a loved one with emotionally serious ill problems here in the city. This death is not the first time a mentally ill person has been killed by the police, by the NYPD. The question that has to be answered is, was Eudes Pierre an imminent threat to the police officers who fired 10 shots at him, 7 by one police officer, 3 by the other, and killed him? Was this force justified? We need the body cam video to make that determination. And we call upon the NYPD or the Attorney General's office, who has jurisdiction over this matter, to release the body cam. Pictures of the truth. so the public will know what really happened here. To have the NYPD police itself and make statements that this was a suicide by cop is not appropriate to determine what really happened here. We don't know what happened here. And the Attorney General is authorized by statute to conduct a complete investigation, and we know they will. And this family will completely cooperate with the NYPD and with the Attorney General's office in their investigation with regard to what happened here. And if criminal charges are appropriate, they should be lodged. And if civil damage is appropriate, they should be given to this family for this wrongful death. We believe that the video, pictures of the truth, must be released now.
Way she can in New York City. Let us hear now from the mother of our dear brother, Margie Lee.
Good afternoon. My name is Marguerite Jolivert. I'm Eudes Pierre mother. He's my second child. She's my first one. I was a single mother. I was in by myself. Put them in good school. They went to Catholic school until they get to high school. They both graduated from high school. He attended college for 1 or 2 years. Eudes was in college at Staten Island for 4 years. He had a few credits left. Decided to take a break. My son was a good kid. He was the life of the party. And my son got killed. He was sick. He had a mental disease. He didn't deserve to be killed like an animal. To be shot like this. Okay.
I'm Roland Pierre. I'm Eudes Pierre's older brother. Today I'm wearing a jacket that he got me for Christmas, because that's who my brother really was. He always put others before him. He was selfless, caring, loving. You can tell by the amount of people in this room. You can tell by the amount of people that was at his vigil last night. My brother was sick. My brother needed help. He didn't need to be killed. They could have helped him. They didn't have to take his life. It was one man, 4 cops. My brother should be here with me today. He should be with me for Christmas and New Year's. We'll never get to stand at each other's wedding. I'll never get to be an uncle. My kids won't have an uncle. Thank you. I miss him.
will now have the family friend to come forth at this time, Jean Claude Michelle.
It's a moment in time that I couldn't imagine what happened in a million years. I've known Eudes Pierre personally for the majority of his life, for the most of his life. Growing up on Eastern Parkway, him, Rose, my brothers, we attended St. Matthew's together, attended church, went to Sunday school together, shared a lot of great memories together. Yeah, Eudes is the life of the party. I can tell you that. But he's also very ambitious, very driven, very loving to everybody he met. Yes, he may have some mental situations, but he didn't deserve to be slaughtered. He was just going through the pressures of New York. I read an article today saying that about 51 million people are diagnosed with mental health. Is this what we want to tell New Yorkers what they may expect for some of their family members to get slaughtered because they're going through the tough times in New York City? I doubt this is the message that you want to send. And I pray that we come to a resolution to not only bring rights to everything that happened here, but to show New Yorkers that there's hope. We're trying to do something to make this right. Eudes, we love you. This doesn't end. We'll find a resolution.
Another family friend, Stephen Michelle.
This right here, it's unbelievable. Really puzzled. Just puzzled about this, honestly. Out of my days of knowing him, since I was young, went to Catholic school together, 2nd grade. From the first day, talked to me. We grew tighter and tighter every single day. Found out we lived on the same block. And from there, everything that we did together, homework, games, played basketball. One thing about him, real determined. Always believed. And also believed in every one of his friends. The love he gave, it's too much. Really put everyone before him. Really grew up, had long conversations with each other. I wish I could bring all of that back again. Just seeing his smile just breaks my heart. I look for him when that day, when Monday happened, when that situation really happened. I was outside looking for him because I really couldn't believe it. Didn't deserve it at all. From someone that really knew him, I still looked at him the same. It doesn't matter about being ill or anything. I looked at him as family, my blood, my close friend. It's really hard for this, really.
Another family member, Sheena Burnett.
We are here today for Eudes Pierre. Eudes Pierre lived. Eudes was filled with life. Even though he was suffering and in need of help, he was filled with life. And his life had value. And his character just stay intact while in death with the same value intact. Proof of that is his never-ending smile. You will find that there will be a running theme with Eudes, so don't be confused, because it's all true. Okay? He had a wonderful smile. He had an easy to get along demeanor. He's amazing. He was brave, he was creative, he was debonair. Look at all his pictures. He's eccentric, funny, genuine, helpful, intelligent, jovial. We could go on and on. I could complete the alphabet. So many people love him. It's the holidays. He should be here with us. He should have gotten help. And he shouldn't be dead right now. We're gonna miss him so much, even though we're gonna keep him with us. And we're not gonna give up. Like I said, his life had value, his life mattered. So, and we're here to show that. So believe it, believe us. Our cousin should be here, and he did not deserve what happened to him at all.
Any questions?
How do you say Eudes' mother's name?
Line one, Michael, line one.
Marguerite.
Marguerite? And how do you say her last name?
Jolivert.
Jolivert. Attorney Rubenstein, just tell me, how important is it that, we know that the AG is handling this investigation, but that body cam footage is released as soon as possible? I mean, over the past year, accountability has been the hot topic for police, but that, you know, investigators don't make delay, but that the public can see it as soon as possible.
The public has a right to know what happened here. We've seen the statement put out by the NYPD. We trust in the Attorney General's office to conduct an independent investigation, but we want the video to be out now. It's important to have the transparency so the public really knows what happened. To rely on a statement from the NYPD regarding suicide by cop, that's just not adequate. We need to have the video released, and we want the Attorney General, and have confidence that the Attorney General will do a intensive, complete investigation with regard to what happened here. The killing of emotionally disturbed people in this city must stop.
And to further add to your question, see, we have, after George Floyd in this city, we have come a long way in terms of building faith a little bit in the police department. We have demanded for many videos to be released. They have released them in a timely manner. When they're right, they release them right away. But when they're wrong, they take a long way to go. So we have to be able to make sure to continue to keep the pressure. We don't trust the police department, so we don't have faith in them doing anything that's right. So if we call it on the Attorney General to release the video on behalf of the family, at least show it to the family. You don't have to release it publicly, but at least show it to the family so the family can have some closure. They got to go through a whole funeral and not knowing how their loved one, what happened and what transpired. So if you want to be able to have accountability in this city, then let the family see the video, then they can be able to move forward. But they cannot heal with an unopened wound until the video is released.
Just my last question. You know, we've seen these cases of people dying at the hands of the police who are mentally ill. Just last year, you know, de Blasio said that he was going to implement some units in certain areas. Tell me how important it is that the city really train officers to be able to deal with those who might suffer from any type of illness, so that these type of instances don't happen and keep happening.
Well, the new police commissioner that Mayor-elect Eric Adams just appointed, saying that she's the best in the city, she wanted to be able to have emotional intelligence, but you can't have that if you don't have your officers having the same emotions to understanding what New Yorkers go through. You have to have a heart first. Your gun and your badge is second, but having a heart is first. So if you see someone in distress, they need to know how to be able to be trained on dealing with someone that's in distress. They may have a weapon. They may be talking out of their mind. They may be hearing voices. That doesn't mean you kill them so they can be gone the same day that you kill them. That means that you can be able to have a heart to be able to talk to them. Just like these negotiators that have negotiated when someone wanted to commit suicide on the Brooklyn Bridge or any bridges, they talk to them. They don't just shoot them so they can die. They talk to them. They have conversations. They talk them off. I guarantee you, if this was a white kid, he would be alive today. But because he was a black boy living in New York City under a de Blasio administration, that's why he's not here today. So we have a long way to go in terms of dealing with the police, because a lot of these police officers, they suffer with mental issues, and they be on our streets of New York City, and they use their mental anguish on us every day. It's like target practice in New York City, and target practice in Brooklyn, and target practice in Brownsville, and peoples of color. So if they really want to deal with something and deal with these issues of mental health within our community, like the brother said, over millions of people have mental health issues. If you want to be able to reduce crime and to be able to deal with it, then really deal with it. Don't just sugarcoat it and put a Band-Aid on an open wound.
I'm going to add something. For this victim and the victims who were emotionally ill who preceded him, whatever training and new protocols will be put in place are too late. But for the future, we need the appropriate protocols put into place, appropriate training now. We don't want to see anyone else die at the hands of police who has an emotional illness.
And last comment, we've been down this road before with Deborah Dana. And Deborah Dana was had a threat, she had a gun in her hand, and they killed her, a senior citizen who they knew. So this is not the first rodeo that we had to deal with the mental health having issues where police use excessive force. That's why they have different things on them to be able to use. But the first thing they need to use is their heart, because they don't have any. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, Jake with Gotham here. I don't know if any member of the family or you guys are able to talk about what the relationship with the police is like on Eastern Parkway. Have there been previous instances? Have you guys had any?
This is a working class family. The mother took care of her 2 children. She go and come. She go and come, and she don't have interaction with the police department in that particular area. So it's not like a reoccurring thing or anything like that. She's a working person. Eudes was a working person too. He worked for Evil Eats. He did moving jobs. So this wasn't a constant gang member or criminal mischief guy that always had interaction with the police department. This was a regular Brooklynite that served society, that lived like anybody else that you see on the streets of Brooklyn.
As I said earlier, this is the 5th family that I am representing with regard to emotionally ill loved ones killed by the police in this city within the last few years. The killing must stop. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
I know what a lot of people are seeing on the news or reading in articles. My brother wasn't a criminal.
That's right.
He didn't run the streets. He didn't have interactions with police. My brother was mentally ill. He had issues. Bro, anybody who's out there who's reading these articles or seeing this on the news, if you knew my brother personally, you know they're not true. You knew the kind of person he was. He was the kind of person that if you needed $1, even if it was his last, he would give it to you. If you were caught in the rain with no shirt on, it was his only shirt, he would give it to you. Don't believe the false narrative. My brother wasn't a criminal. My brother needed help.
Thank you.
Thank you.